no one open an iPad within 50 miles because my AirPods will connect to them.
No kidding. I think my AirPods like connect to my refrigerator at home sometimes. They like it's a joke, right? It's like Apple is totally trolling us because Apple gaslights people more than anyone. You call them up and like when the port broke the other day, when the kids broke the port by accident on our iPad, which was not their fault. And I went to the Apple store to get it fixed and they said, "Oh no, we can't fix this." What do you mean you can't fix this?
I told you, they told me they couldn't fix an iPad that wouldn't turn on. They're like, "Oh, sorry, this is irreparable. You're going to have to buy a new one." And I went to like a third party guy, like some sketchy dude down my street. And I was like, "Can you fix this?" And he was like, "Give me a second." And he just pushed the like center button and the on off button at the same time to reset it. He's like, "Yeah, it was just like a classic reset. It works fine."
Why didn't you try
like,
that?
What the
Here we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. And I want to keep people updated on the continuing feedback we're getting from, what was it? It was like Friday Night Movie Mageddon a couple episodes ago. If you're starting to listen to the show for the first time, start 2 episodes ago, the last episode of 2022, where Lily and Becky nearly kill each other.
Very aggressive, that one.
I haven't received as positive feedback on an episode in a really long time. So my feedback to you both is be meaner. No, just kidding.
But do you think that's because audience these days just want to watch murder documentaries? Well, like very
no, people have been into Jerry Springer type shit for years. Like I think people love.
If one of us was
and
murdered,
like the Real Housewives would not be so popular if people.
If one of us was murdered, some poor intern at a police station would have to listen to every episode of the podcast for clues.
I know.
Like to look for how annoying would that be?
Dream job.
And then the other 2 would have to solve the crime. I think we've just written a movie, guys.
I think that would be. I think there you go. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are, as I often say. Lily, how are you doing?
I'm amazing. I have reunited with my best friend after 4 years. 4 years is a long time. There have been multiple pregnancies and 1 baby since we have last seen each other. And it's been an intense 4 years. So it's pretty magical.
And have you reunited your husband with his passport?
I have. I didn't know that story made it to you.
How many times has this happened?
Lily, I could have just
because I know of 3 times that this has happened.
Lily, my kids,
where your family is going to the airport and does not have a passport. But I only know of 3 of them. There are more incidences for sure.
My kids just assume your husband has forgotten his passport when he goes to the airport.
To be fair, what happened, and I could not even give him, like, I gave him a bunch of shit, so did Mom, but I owed him one because what happened to him happened to me in March.
He took his own, he took one of your kids?
Yeah.
Kids' passports. Sorry. He took one of the kids' passports instead of his own passport to the airport.
It's not like you guys don't travel. A rookie mistake. Always look at your passport.
Oh, look at the picture. Yeah,
maybe they're too confident.
Our son,
maybe they're too confident.
I guess.
You know what I mean?
Because we travel so much, we're too confident.
We're like too confident, yeah.
When
you need a little bit more fear
realized,
in you.
As I was driving away from the airport, he calls me and I was like, "Everything okay?" He's like, "Everything is not okay. You need to go back and find my passport because I swear I thought I had it, but I only have our son's 2 of his passports. The problem is our son is so international. We keep confusing his 2 passports with ours."
Why don't you just put labels on the back?
I have to. I'm gonna have to just like put like in white out like
this is excessive.
The names. And then and he was like super chill about it. He's like, "Oh, there's plenty of time. Just go home and get it and come back."
Well, that's what my kids said. They said, "Wait, is he gonna miss his plane?" I said, "Oh no. They left with a normal amount of time.
This
He's
time,
forgotten
yeah.
his passport with 10 minutes before his plane.
Right.
And
No.
made it.
He had
fine.
like, he had, 2.5 hours. So it was okay.
All right. Becky, how are you doing?
Honestly, I think my husband has his period because we are
Oh,
having a
I hate
day
when
over here.
Shine had his period when we were at the ski house. And let me
I
tell
know
you.
we talked about that.
A man
It's like
on a period is the worst.
Like, you know what? I took the kids out for a couple hours. He took a nap. I picked up a pizza. Hopefully everyone's in a better mood. because-
You know, I'm remembering when we were young and like if dad was upset, Lily, who was always the one who would say the most. Lily's
Outlandish things.
Lily's the Sonny Corleone of the family. Lily would say, say stuff to dad like, "Are you in your period?" Like I would never dare to say something like
It's
that.
like a combination between Rebecca Bunch, Sonny Corleone, and Sarah Silverman. In one human.
Maybe
being.
you're more you're more
so
Amy
much
Schumer
fun
than
to hang
Sarah
out
Silverman.
with. So
It's
much
also
fun
why
to
I'm
hang out with.
self-employed. Because I go to work somewhere.
So Becky's husband is what is he upset about?
I actually I can't. I don't
Okay, you
think
can't.
I could.
Okay, don't share.
It's,
He does.
you know
I mean, he
what?
doesn't listen
You
to
know
the
what?
show.
He doesn't listen to the show, but it's a fight that is. I feel like I do need to tell the story because it's a
Was
fight.
his coffee not?
No, it's a
hot
fight that is
enough?
so
Does he have-
stupid.
Does he
It's
have
a fight.
too many muscles and not enough hair on his body?
It's
Like,
a
what's
fight
his
that
deal?
is so stupid. I'm genuine.
Is he too
so
tall?
upset that I'm
He's too tall
genuinely
for
worried.
everybody.
I'm gonna tell it, but I'm gonna take the blame. Like I want
Did
to
you
be
let him
clear.
sleep in too much?
I want to be
Too many
clear.
naps.
Too many naps.
I'm telling the story from the perspective of I'm 100% wrong, Vlad. I'm not making fun of you. This is me.
Vlad, he's not listening to this, but everybody who does listen to this show, this is why they're here today. They want to hear it.
So as
This
our
is some
longtime listeners,
Patreon
as
kit
our
right here.
longtime listeners know, I love the original Avatar movie.
Oh my God, where is this going?
The blue Avatar movie, and you like the Avatar Airbender verse, totally unrelated.
But I really love it. I really love that movie, and I'm been very excited that the sequel has come out, and we haven't gone to see it yet, and it's making me more and more anxious that we haven't gone to see it.
Hey, wait, your brother has come through.
Hold on. And ultimately, in the last couple of days, decided, listen, I can't wait. I'm worried if by the time Lily comes back to town, what if it's out of theaters or there's no good show times or it's not in
That's
a good
serious
theater? I
anxiety.
need to see it. Yeah. So I say to him, either last night or 2 nights ago, listen, I've decided I got to see Avatar before Lily comes back to town. I really want to go see it. And he goes, okay. And I go, will you come with me? And he says, no, I don't want to see it. And I go, listen, this is important to me. I don't want to go alone. I want to really enjoy this experience. I'm being honest and saying, this is an important thing to me. Will you come with me? He's like, fine, I'll come with you. But, and then like a bunch of caveats of like, I'll come with you, but I'm going to be tired or I'm going to be this, but I'm going to come. Like, okay, so he agrees he's going to come with me. I said it's important. He accepts that. But it's sort of like a little bit of a begrudgingly, this is going to be a long movie. I don't want to go. Okay, fine. Then today I get a text from Shai very enthusiastically saying, I want to take you to Avatar Monday night. These are 2 Showtime options. What do you think? Like enthusiastic.
It was specifically though, I'm worried you're going to miss it.
I'm worried you're going to miss it. And I want to take you. And it was
any of these like the IMAX or like the Dolby or whatever.
Oh yeah. We're going to see
Becky doesn't even have normal requirements for a theater.
We're going to see the laser 3D IMAX. I don't even know what that is, but it's the only one that's on the list.
Does it have Dolby sound? Because then Becky can't go.
3D? That's going to be intense.
But the whole Avatar was created to be seen in 3D. This is of all the movies you're going to see in 3D. This is actually one.
But does it have the sound that she wants? She's very specific about.
Yeah, it's Dolby. It's Dolby. So I jump up and I say to Vlad, Shai's going to take me to see Avatar. Not even that. I go, Shai's going to. Shai's going to take me to see Avatar Monday night. I'm going to go with him. And he got so mad at me. And he's like, you and I already made plans. And now you're making plans on top of our plans, not including me in your Avatar plan.
Wait, you told me to get him a ticket. I got him a ticket.
I know.
Now you have to sell that ticket.
And in fact, I was in a conversation with him recently where, like last night, where he said he didn't want to see the movie. I could have just gone to two of it. Now, in fairness, Alec, but this is funny about the spouses sometimes, because sometimes they're like, oh, you three, just go and do whatever you're doing. This time I told Allie, I was like, Allie, I'm going to take Becky to see the movie. And then Allie says, I said, but you don't want to go, right? And she says, well, get me a ticket. I might want to hate watch it.
Right.
This one is the fun.
I got into trouble because I made a big stink about him needing to come with me. And then I went and just made other plans that didn't include him after putting him through it and making him. So we basically.
But now he doesn't have to go, but he's going anyways.
Well, first of all, he's included. Second of all, is this conflict with something else he was doing?
The point is that we, an adult married couple with 2 children and real responsibilities and stresses and anxieties in their life, full on gone into an argument today about seeing the new Avatar movie.
That you'd already agreed to see together.
No, we'd already agreed to see together.
James Cameron, wrecking marriages again.
Let me tell you, I
just like, in case people are wondering if I live the podcast, yes, I live the podcast. Everything in my life revolves around.
I want to see seeing things with Becky that she really enjoys is really worth it. Like when Becky got the animals for her kid's birthday party and they pulled out the giant bullfrog and she was so excited. I've never been excited about a giant bullfrog until I saw Becky and like near tears of joy. When they pulled out the dickless lizard and it was slithering around and Becky was just so excited to see that thing.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a snake.
That was wild.
But it's a lizard. It's a lizard head on a snake's body.
It's not a dickless lizard. It's a legless lizard. Why do you keep calling it a dickless lizard? Why are you just these lizards' dicks? It's so weird. I think you're confused because it looks like an alien dick.
Like
the whole thing.
I mean,
like if an alien had a dick, that's what it would look like, the legless lizard.
Well, anyways, I enjoy, or when Becky saw a dolphin during our vacation in Tenerife, and she got so excited.
Well, you should have seen me when I saw the dolphin in North Carolina. Like, at least we were expecting it in Tenerife, but when we were in North Carolina and there was a surprise dolphin, there was basically crying.
And Dune, which I knew nothing about, and I saw with Becky and Vlad, by the way. I loved it.
Oh, Vlad will go see.
That's a great movie, but also seeing it with Becky, who was so into it, was so excited.
The point was that I made a whole thing about my husband needing to come with me, and then I basically was like,
okay, here's my question. Is he coming with you? No. Now he's not coming with you.
Currently he's saying no. But he got said basically someone better came along and then I dumped him. And I was like, someone better came along to see this.
Well, you gave him an out. You could look at it as like giving him an out.
But that's not just someone better.
I don't know why you didn't just ask Shy in the first place. Why did you bother?
No. Becky was asking me. It was hard to schedule.
There was a problem with my delivery. I think the problem was in my delivery.
I think your avatar anxiety blinded you on how to approach it.
Sheer joy.
Because you also invited me to go on Saturday night, and now you've just canceled those plans.
I'm hedging my bets because ultimately it's like a 3.5 hour movie. Not everyone's going to come see it.
Yeah, you gotta spread
2.5. It's 3.5.
So like 3.5. 3:15 or something.
Lily, I actually started watching it tonight. We're recording this on Saturday. I'm just really excited for that scene where they touch the giant whale. That looks very like I don't care what the plot is, but that looks very overwhelmingly beautiful.
Yeah. Anyways, so to be updated on, I don't know if that's like an acronym. To be updated on. I
can't wait to hear your guys' review.
So for today's episode, I'm going to interview you both in what I have decided, I've done some scientific research, which is not scientific at all, but I've come up with a questionnaire of 5 questions. Okay. 5 questions that any new person on the show, if we don't have other things to ask them, right? I would want to know these things in talking about movies with them. So I did some marinating and thinking as we got ready for today's episode. And we've been doing this for 5+ years. So I have 5 questions. I'm going to ask you both these 5 questions. All right. And it's going to help me understand you as movie watchers, even though I bet I could even guess the answers. Like that would be a whole other level, is to do this like.
Shai, you don't have a great track record with that. So moving on.
Okay. So, question number 1. We're going to ease in here. What movie character or characters, if it's a group, would you want to befriend?
Oh gosh, what movie character or group of?
So like, and I've answered them for myself in my head, but you know my answer, right?
The Avatar Airbender people.
The Jedis.
Oh,
Luke
the
and the
Avatar.
Jedis?
You know what? The Avatar Airbender people are actually correct,
No, but that's a
Lily.
TV. But that's a TV show, and
Oh,
they
this
haven't
is
made a good
movie?
movie of it. They have
Yeah,
not
but
made
it, but
a
it
good
is.
movie of it.
It's
Okay.
it's Luke Skywalker. It's Luke
Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
But of fantastical characters, yes, those are actually. I mean, I already know them. They're my friends. Like right, Becky. They're real as far as we're concerned.
All right, let's
Mhm.
take it
No,
down.
I am
a
friends with
notch.
them.
But yeah, Luke Skywalker.
I would say like everybody in the.
Not only would I befriend Luke Skywalker, I would appreciate him, unlike everybody else.
You would be definitely intimidated by Han, though, and you're not going anywhere with Luke without Han. So, like, would you even be able to, be yourself?
I don't know. Lily, go ahead.
Right?
So
The
you're
Breakfast
saying,
Club.
wait, that's who you want to be friends with?
Yeah, I want to hang out with all of them. Definitely a young Emilio, for sure. I'll go shopping with Molly Ringwald. I would play some sports with Emilio. Probably
We'll
get
do a
through my
dance
rebellious
number with
phase with Judd Nelson, and yeah, I'd like do a makeover in Ali Sheedy. I don't know. I love that movie.
Honestly,
and Anthony Michael Hall. I feel like we would be really like cool actually be friends with him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I love those people.
The first thing, like, I'm just gonna go.
That's
with,
the first thing that came to my mind.
The first thing came to my mind.
That
Like,
was
I'm
the
not
first-
trying
exactly.
to I'm not trying to come up with a cool answer.
Me neither.
The first thing
that
that came up with my mind was Winona Ryder, Janine Garofalo, and Steve Zahn from Reality Bites.
Oh,
Like, I
that's
want to
great.
be like
great.
the fourth roommate.
But
yeah.
what about Troy Dyer? Don't
Well,
pretend like he's not included.
No, because he's a bit of an outlier. It's the three of them that are best friends, and Troy's always there, kind of like stirring up.
And you know me, I want.
He's
I
part
want,
of the group of friends.
I want to be.
He's
friends
part
with
of the
Ben-
group, but it's
I want to be friends with Ben Stiller in that movie. I always root for him.
So it's like
I'm like she
poor
doesn't
Ben
like
Stiller.
the guy
Like,
with
with the
job who made
job.
her
Yeah.
got her shot with her
I think-
documentary being on TV.
especially like the filmmaker in me would have like loved to be friends with Elena.
Amazing. Okay, you guys, this is great. Okay, so now this is tougher, and I'm going to give mine if you want while you think about it, because this is a little bit. But name 5 desert island movies, but right now. So it doesn't have to be your all-time ones, but 5 desert island movies right now.
like currently in your life.
Yeah, like on Letterboxd, you can put your 4 favorite movies, and I usually change one, but there's usually like 2 or 3 off the bat, and then you can throw another 2 in.
Reality Bites, Say Anything, the original Sabrina, Avatar Blue People. That's what I mean, obviously, in keeping the spirit of this one,
Episode.
and Inside Llewyn Davis.
Ugh, I knew you were going to say that.
I knew that movie was going to come up, but I thought that was going to be the people you want to hang out with. Okay, cool. All right.
No, those are not like I don't want to hang out with them. If you watch the movie, those are difficult people. You do not want to hang out with them.
Lily, how about you?
No, you go first.
Me? Okay. So for me, I mean, you could guess. Okay. Try to guess. See if you can guess. Becky's, I could have only guessed Sabrina. I don't know where you pulled out.
You know that like Say Anything and Reality Bites are 2 of my all-time. I mean, I've watched those movies dozens and dozens of times. Or maybe okay.
I know what movies
leave it.
Becky. I know what movies Becky's likes, but I don't always know like
How
what.
I'm going to answer a question.
How you're going to answer that question? For me, it's very.
I'm going the first that comes in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not overthinking. Mm-hmm.
But for me, I come on. Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
is
obviously.
always going to be Alien, the original, perfect movie.
Mm-hmm.
That Thing You Do, just
That's
the
a
best
great
movie.
one. That's a great choice.
That Thing You Do, or The Commitments are the 2, in my view, best music movies ever. So I have to pick one to go in my top 5. Because we just finished The Offer, The Godfather is now right in the top
Aren't you in the
4.
mood to watch it?
Oh, Allie and I
really
are
in the
going to
mood
watch it. I want to make my kids watch it, and Allie's like, "Oh, you're going to make them
No,
watch
they're
a
gonna hate
3-hour
it.
movie?" And I'm like,
No.
"Who are
Make them
you?
watch it.
Who are
No,
you?
I'm
That
too
guy Barry
young.
Lapidus?"
I think they're almost old enough. I actually think in 1 year they'll be old enough. You need
I
more.
saw-
No,
I saw
they're
it when I
gonna
was
hate
12.
it because it'll be so boring. Yeah, wait a little bit.
When your
Lily,
youngest
you sound like Barry Lapidus.
No,
in
when
The
when
Office.
when your youngest is 10, I think that's a good I think that's when I saw it for the first time. I was like 10 or 12, something like that.
and then Die Hard, Die Hard would go up there for me too, but I would say
That's a good
that could easily be Jojo Rabbit. It could be, there's a lot of other movies that could go in there. The
Mhm.
Raid Redemption, there's a lot of movies that could go in there. And Lily,
Shai's, just to be clear, Shai's answering the desert island question with lots of extras after having as much time as he wanted to prepare.
yeah.
So just to be clear, we're
This
playing the
That's
game.
something I do.
You're just like giving lots of examples of amazing movies. Okay, Lily, you go.
No,
I
I'm
would
just showing you
say-
how I might switch it out.
okay. So I would say like off the
Okay,
top of my
Lily.
head, without thinking about it, 4 come up.
You should
Okay.
know what your favorite movies are when you talk.
Yeah, it would.
And then
Off
if
the
you
top
have
of my
a
head
choice-
would be Bridget Jones, Clueless, Neverending Story, All About My Mother, and then the last one.
Like All About My Mother, but how many times can you watch that over? and
Oof, I
over?
feel like I could watch it a lot.
All About My
I've
Mother?
seen it a lot, and I could keep
Almodovar.
watching it.
Penelope Cruz.
That's Lily's
Lily
answer
movie.
for everything. A Moldovar. Anytime I don't know what movie she's talking about, she says a Moldovar.
And I feel like my 5th would be some sort of like cartoon from childhood, like a Rescuers Down Under that I would want to go
Alvin-
back to.
Alvin and the
Alvin and the
Chipmunks, Chipmunk
Chipmunk Adventure.
Yeah.
That movie
It would
does
be
not
like
get older,
that would be
it's
my
funnier.
would be my rotating one. That would be some sort of like cartoon situation.
Okay, what's a favorite movie of yours that would surprise people? Like Becky, I feel like all of yours surprise me sometimes, but every once in a while there's a movie Becky says she loves, and I'm like, really?
Especially in the last few years when her taste has gone very trashy.
Sicario.
No, that
That's
movie's
a- that's-
amazing. I'm not
it's an-
surprised you like that movie.
Yeah, and it's like a
Just
slow
you
burn.
literally just said
It's
I have
also
a
Taylor
garbage
Sheridan.
palette. You said
Yeah, but that's not a
you
garbage
have-
movie.
Yeah, but you said you have terrible taste these days, and so
No,
I
I
give you
said
a
that
good movie.
because lately you have a trashy palette, you're about to say something we wouldn't expect.
I
But-
take offense to that. You want to know what movie I watched last week? Phantom Thread. Have you seen it? No, it's incredible. There you go. You're welcome.
Okay, well,
What's-
no one's
what's-
surprised that PTA is amazing and that you like the movie.
But have you seen it?
Wait,
I haven't had a chance.
Phantoms with Ben Affleck from the 90s?
It's about somebody who makes clothes. It's not.
Phantom Thread. It's about
What
a
kind of
very
phantom
temperamental
is
dressmaker played
That
by
sounds
Daniel
cool.
Day-Lewis, and is with Vicky
All Thomas
Cruz. And now I'm
Anderson.
obsessed with her, and I want to see everything she's in. I find her just mesmerizing.
Okay,
These
Becky
are not
hasn't
things
sup-
that surprise
Becky hasn't
us.
So I'll make the argument for mine that's surprising. One of my favorite ones that literally made me weep when I saw it on a plane is Rise of the
E.T..
Rise of the Guardians, which is
is
the movie
that?
where Santa Claus.
Oh,
It's an animated
Ari
movie
loves that movie.
with where
Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Sandman, Boogeyman.
No, the
and-
Boogeyman's the bad guy.
Right, but
Jack
that's
Jack
talking
Jack
about?
Frost and
Jack
the
Frost.
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah,
And the reason why is that
Yeah.
this is a
loves
DreamWorks
that
movie.
Okay, I'll come up with a more surprising one.
But because it's so rooted in like the Christmas thing, and I'm not usually into Christmas movies, and it's not really a Christmas movie.
No,
It's just
not.
so I just love it. It's like an action movie, but with all of those fantastic.
And Santa's super cool in it too.
Well, yeah, Santa's
He's not.
kind of
He,
I've
he's
plays
kinda
never
like the-
even heard of this. This is a cartoon?
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, not a
Shice puts it on
cartoon.
all the time. It's like
It's
animation, whatever.
3D animation,
3D
but yeah.
animation.
Chris Pine,
loves
Alec
it.
Baldwin, Isla Fisher.
Ari loves this movie. You introduced him to it.
I mean, I can name like 25 animated movies that I'm surprised I've seen and enjoy if you want, because now I have children, but sure, we can go that route.
Yeah, sure. Name one of those that would surprise you that you.
I don't know
like.
if there's anything I would say that would surprise you guys. Because I have all kinds.
Because you
of
just
taste.
say a Moldovar, and I'm surprised that.
No one
Yeah.
surprisingly says Almodovar.
I don't know. Is there anything I could say that would surprise you? I feel like very eclectic taste. Maybe a horror movie that I actually liked.
That
Well,
would be
you-
surprising if I have a horror movie that I actually
Yeah,
Yes,
you
that
see,
would be
that would be
shocking.
surprising.
Well,
Becky.
Yes,
so like the
that would be
baby, like when
shocking.
I saw the babysitter movies and liked it, that
Those
was
are not
surprising
horror
because
movies, Becky.
It's horror comedy. It's in the
But that's
genre.
not the same
and
genre.
I watched them by myself, and
That's
it
not
was
the
scary.
same genre. They're not
Absolutely
scary.
counts. Horror comedy is within the umbrella
it's
of
not.
horror. There's
It
because there's
is.
body horror, there's gore,
Those are
there's
in horror,
psychological
and then horror comedy is in comedy.
then
It's a type of
and-
comedy.
Holiday horror.
comedy.
No.
It's a Venn diagram.
No, then it would be called
It's a
comedy
Venn-
horror. It's horror comedy.
horror comedy, and it
But they're
lives
not
in the Venn
scary,
diagram.
and that's the
But
part.
it lives
that
in the
you
Venn
haven't-
diagram
That's
that
scary to
crosses
you.
over with horror, so therefore it's in horror.
Okay.
Becky, I'm accepting the babysitter movies for you because I'm accepting the babysitters as surprising,
Yeah.
even though you're the one who introduced them to me. But yes.
But it's surprising I watched them alone.
Oh, and you watched them many times. You love those movies.
I've
And
seen
how much
the
you love
first
those
one,
movies.
I think I've seen the
surprised me.
first one 3 times and the second one twice.
And those are on
I've seen the
Netflix
first
for
one.
people who want to see them.
Well,
So
I don't
Samara
know what
Weaving,
would
Judah
surprise you
Lewis.
guys, so you'd have to tell me.
You don't know what would surprise us?
Yeah.
What about
know.
what about any of the movies? No, you okay, so Lily's just not.
I can't think of a movie that if I liked it would be surprising to you guys.
You're not
You guys don't
mom. I
give
don't
me
assume you like
crap about
everything.
my tastes. No, but you guys don't. It's usually Becky would make fun of better taste, not mine.
And I
She's
just am
most pretentious
I'm
one.
inherently made fun of just because of I'm just a wild card, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and we assume you don't like really, really good stuff. So we just don't bother.
No, sometimes every once in a while he watches really, really good stuff, and it's like
And then he's like, "Can you believe it? That award-winning
E.T.
movie was
is a good movie.
Spielberg
was
must
so
be onto
good.
something."
No, Spielberg is okay. E.T. That was a big one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Next-
know. If I think about it, I'll let you
Ne-
know.
Next question. We're gonna play Buy Rent or Meh, but it's a specific version of Buy Rent or Meh. Okay.
Mhm.
It's called Cats Avatar Trolls.
Trolls
Trolls
is in
like
the animated
Troll
troll movie.
Hunter?
No.
Or like the
play-
little troll toys that I loved when we were kids. with the
here's
hold
the
on,
hair.
hold
thing.
on, no,
Here's the thing.
hold
Wait,
on,
wait,
hold
wait.
on.
Here's the
Love
thing. Here's the
those
thing.
toys.
I did not see all of the Trolls movie. I saw like the last 15 minutes, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Is this the new one? The new
second
troll
one that
movie
has
about
Rachel
the actual
Bloom.
live action troll?
No. The first one with Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake is the end, and like the last 15
This is
minutes,
the
I was
animated
like, this is
one?
great. Except it kind of seemed like there was a whole like weird fat shaming thing going on with the bad guys wanting to eat the trolls and
But have you guys
I
heard of
honestly
this
don't know
movie?
which one.
This is a new movie that
Of
Jose
course,
I know,
almost
I wanna see that.
Becky and I
made
are
me watch.
Becky and I are on top of it. Are you kidding? We can't wait to see that because Becky and I watched
Is that
Troll
Gerard
Hunter.
Butler? What is that? Who's
No,
in it?
it's-
Who's the guy? Oh no,
I
it's
don't know.
nobody. It's
No, this is.
like-
I mean, it's Norwegian. No, but Becky and I watched a Norwegian movie years ago called Troll Hunter that was incredible.
Why are there so many trolls in Norway?
It's part
That's
of
where
the
they come
lore,
from.
the Jotunheim.
Italy.
The Jotunheim.
Oh,
All right.
I didn't
So
know that.
here's the question: Buy, rent, or meh? And again, for people listening for the first time, buy means you'll buy it. Rent means you'd rent it. Meh, you can explain what you mean by meh. Cats, but a non-musical movie version.
Oh, I love that.
Avatar with the blue people, but a musical version. Or Trolls, a live action version. Buy, rent, or meh, those three.
I'm buying Cats as not a musical.
Like a
'cause
straight drama.
there is so much drama going on between those cats. What was the second one option?
Avatar as
A musical version of the Blue Avatar.
I mean, I'm not going to say I would see it, but I definitely think it'll be made one day. So I'm going to rent it. And then Trolls as live action.
I mean, just think about the nightmare fuel of they make the Trolls live action, like not CGI live action.
No, but they're going to
Like
CGI and they're going to
humans-
screw it up. So I'm maying that. They're not going to do it good.
Humans.
Again,
playing
we're
the
talking about
Trolls.
the animated troll movie.
The movie you just saw the other day with Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake. They can even play the Trolls, but they have to be. It has to be
Okay.
practical effects live action. We're not talking about CGI.
I'm buying Avatar as a musical because the more Avatar, the better. I am renting Trolls live action because that seems just grotesque and amazing. And I'm maying Cats as a straight drama because I'm literally only there for the music. There is no story otherwise.
I obviously buy cats because I have my entire story written in my head already. And then
We know.
Becky has convinced me in the Troll of Lives action. I want to rent that. And then I will Avatar the musical, not because I'm not intrigued, because I would see it. And I also believe James Cameron would make it do something that's never been done before. Like the entire audience would have to be submerged in water with like air tanks to watch it or something like that.
Did you see that whole? Can we do a sidebar? The whole thing about Kate Winslet holding her breath for 7 minutes, and she beat Tom Cruise's record. It was all over the news.
Was it in Avatar?
While she was training, so as she's training for Avatar, because so much is underwater, right? They had to learn how to hold their breaths for crazy amounts. Movie? Yeah, Kate Winslet is in the movie. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Spoiler alert.
Did you also read the thing? Is it Emma Thompson that's in the movie, but it took so long to come out? She thought that it came out and flopped and just like never heard about it. Like, didn't realize. I read something. I don't know if it's true, but I did read something very funny like that.
But then they're like interviewing her and being like, I can't believe you beat Tom Cruise. You held your breath for 7 minutes. His is like, 5 minutes or 6 minutes or something like that. And she did 7 minutes in underwater. And everybody, I was all over the news making a big deal about it. And she was like, well, what's Tom Cruise's record? And they're like, it's this big deal, this big record. And she's like, well, then also Sigourney Weaver beat him because she didn't do as much as me, but she definitely did more than Tom Cruise. And they were like, the interview is over.
James Cameron always seems to be. I've never read a lot of the stuff around The Abyss, but I'm pretty sure like he nearly drowned like the whole cast on The Abyss.
Yeah, like he seems like he goes hard when he makes these movies.
But I would just think it would be so long that I don't know if I want to sit in a play that long, but I would see it underwater. Okay, and now the last question.
Like you would sit underwater to see it?
Man, this seems. I mean, if you're going to tell me there's a musical that's underwater and we have to I'm not. As long as I'm not getting.
I just want to say, Mom saw Avatar, and I don't want to like bum you out, but her review was it was beautiful. It was about family. I don't know what the plot is.
Yeah, but were her hearing aids on?
Her hearing aids
about
family
connected to the Bluetooth of the.
Did her hearing aids have laser Dolby? Because I promise you, they don't. They didn't.
Oh, she's so cute with her hearing aids.
And then the last question is, in getting to know other people's movie tastes, what's a question you would ask?
Like a general person?
I want to know. My question, I think you really know a lot about somebody. Is their sick day movie? Like what movie is comforting them? Because it's not going to be a highbrow. Like it might be a highbrow answer, but when you just ask people, they're like, so they have to really put on airs, like really analyzing what are they going to think of me? But you're like comforting sick day movie. That's the truth. That's the real.
I would say which protagonist or hero and which villain resonate the most with you.
And I would say, what's your favorite music moment in a movie?
I mean, it's like so specific because most people would be like, what? Music moments?
No, but once you start talking to people about it, like I'll often describe.
Well, people know Almost Famous. Like Tiny Dancer, Almost Famous.
The end of Mr. Holland's Opus, the scene where they hear their stuff.
What's the end of Coda?
The end of
Coda. See, once you start talking
about that today, I was
Reservoir Dogs. Coda. When they walk across the screen in the opening of Reservoir Dogs is one of the most
stuck in the middle with you, right? Isn't that?
No. That's when they cut the ear off.
Cut the ear off.
I mean, some people might.
Very different.
That's a great. That's like, but that's a very famous. It was a teenage wedding in the. From Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, that could be one too.
No when they dance together.
But to answer,
doing some hand
I was doing the dancing. The Uma Thurman Travolta dance.
To answer Lily's question, though, mine is the Untouchables. The Untouchables, because we watched it so many times.
Know that. That's your
favorite Harry Crumb.
Music?
And who's Harry Crumb?
For Sick Day.
We know that.
Who's Harry Crumb?
And all right, and okay, so those are. What do you guys think of my 5 questions?
I love your questions. This is so fun.
It's great. We could do like a little. Should we do like a survey on the website? That could be fun, or on our Instagram, just for funsies for
Becky.
people.
Ideas woman. That's
why
Zero
no one
follow
pays
through.
me. That's why no one pays me to be on this podcast.
All right, what have you been watching? Any recs and shout outs, Lily?
The Offer is fantastic, and I would like to disagree with my brother-in-law. He's in a mood, so I'm not gonna like make a stink about it, Becky. But he was pretty meh about the show when we talked about it.
Well,
and
he only saw the first episode, and I'm sorry, but the writing in the first episode, it takes a moment to get.
It
over
takes
the
a moment.
writing
It's
in
a
the
bit
first
clunky.
episode.
I'll say the first episode is a bit clunky, and long.
A little trite.
It's
The writing in the first episode.
I think it's great though, and I think
I loved
Miles
every
Teller
minute of
is
it.
But
just
it gets-
continues to show us his range. For God's sakes, give that
it's
boy an
fantastic.
Oscar.
No, I think
He's
no.
fantastic.
You know what? Matthew Good, who plays Bob Evans,
he's gonna. I hope he wins a lot of awards
awesome.
because it's freakish how like
absolutely
Bob Evans
loved him. I absolutely loved him in it. I overall really loved the show. I have some notes, but I think it was what I watched. I was into.
I'm only on episode 5.
Okay, here's the thing. I think by the last 2 episodes, 9 and 10, I was a little bit like, oh wait, sorry, why is this 10 episodes? This is a lot of
imagine
story.
it needed to be.
Like,
well,
I think
the
whole last episode is the second to last episode is just about the premiere, and then the last episode after that is about like what happens after.
It's
a lot of epilogue. It's 2 episodes of epilogue.
But you've
it's a lot
earned
of epilogue.
it. You've earned that epilogue.
No, I think it's a lot. It's a lot of episodes about. But it was great.
Like I said, I want the sequel to be just more movies about Francis Ford Coppola making movies. I want to see Apocalypse Now.
Right. I just want to watch
Dracula,
Francis Ford Coppola making
Dan Fogler in the Coppola-verse.
Yeah, agreed.
Francis Ford Coppola and the Temple of Doom next.
The second one is Coppola and
he's not. I'm not, by the way, mixing up
Bob.
him and Indiana Jones. I'm just imagining Francis Ford Coppola on adventures. Coppola versus Mothra. Like we should just keep doing.
But the Godfather Part 2, it's Coppola, Mario Puzo, and then Bob Evans produced it. So that would still be very fun to watch the 3 of them.
Yeah,
just be bananas.
And Becky, what are you watching?
I spent the last week just watching The Offer. We also a couple episodes of Slow Horses that I've been talking about. I think that's kind of it. I've been pretty immersed in that.
Very cool. We've been enamored. We've had Willow Wednesdays have been really awesome.
Again, Willow,
is it getting renewed? Is it getting renewed?
Willow.
I mean, it's not gonna if people don't watch it. So go watch the show.
I will be sending a very angry letter if it does not get renewed.
To Bob Iger. You're gonna send a note.
No, to Kathleen Kennedy and be like, this is a bunch of BS.
Well, I will say with some of the it's one of these things where I'm like, don't overthink it. This is so fun for kids to enjoy. I love Ruby Cruz as Kit Tantalos, and I love Ellie Bamber as Laura Dannon. Like those two. But
who's Jade? The one that's Jade, who was also in Falcon
Kelly,
and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, she's amazing too.
So great.
And Warwick Davis is just such a fabulous actor, and he does such a beautiful job as Willow. And then the kid who is in Spider-Man, who plays Flash Thompson in Spider-Man, the whole cast is so good. There was a Christian Slater cameo in one of the episodes. I think, by the way, I think they did a beautiful job with this show, and it's just delightful, and so in the spirit and made with such a spirit of fun. And I really like the anachronistic music. They use modern music at the end of every episode in particular, and I love the songs.
I wonder why. That's a choice, it's a fantasy.
There's an article about it actually. The creator Kasdan talked about it, but Jonathan Kasdan talked about it.
I think the biggest challenge that it faces is that these days people are so dark and jaded. They have a hard time just experiencing wonder and joy and not making everything moody and dark and and it's a fun show and it's really delightful to be in that spirit.
It's
plenty dark,
right? But it's got that classic Lucasfilm adventure with some comedy, only it's got a much bigger cast. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in the traveling party. You're not following a million storylines. You're following one storyline, but it's a bunch of characters, and it's a great ensemble. They did a great job. I really hope they renew it. It's like a fine wine. It deserves to breathe and get another season. Okay. Lily, where can people follow you and Becky?
Kasdan is the son of
Lawrence Kasdan.
Kasdan is Kasdan's son.
Yeah, he's a Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor.
Jonathan?
Yeah, he
That's
had
good
it when
to
he was
know.
17 and survived.
That's good to know. Thank you, Lily.
Just
And how about where people can follow you?
Okay, what other medical insights do you
Oh,
have?
do you know who?
have
Do you know who?
about
Speaking of Hollywood families, do you know who directed a lot of the episodes of The Offer, or I think maybe all of it? Adam Arkin, who is an amazing director.
Oh, I kept seeing his name, and I was like,
he
shit.
directed a ton of Justified episodes. I think a ton of Sons of
He's
Anarchy
a great
episodes.
great director.
Great. I mean, he's a great actor too, but he is a great
both.
director.
Son of Adam Arkin, Aaron Arkin.
Alan
Arkin.
I don't want to get into the whole Nepo
Alan
babies
Arkin.
thing, but I definitely like sometimes it's cool that there are families in particular businesses and that with their you see their talent blossom
Wait,
over
so
time.
you're telling me nobody has a problem with Succession, which is just like one super like billionaire person passing on their company to their billionaire
No,
kids.
they mean like
But,
actual
like-
actors. The Nepo baby thing. That's
but-
no,
no,
but
Becky,
story.
Becky's like everyone loves that show, right?
No, I'm saying that like that concept, no one seems to be upset about the Nepo babies in that world, but we're really
Or the
upset
presidents
that
of the
Meryl
United
Streep's daughter
States.
is an actress. Oh my God. Meryl
Or
Streep's daughter.
how many Bushes
she's a
have there
good-
been as
and
presidents?
by the way-
Good. She's great.
And by the way, she's a good actor.
Both of them are. There's two that are actors.
But Mamie Gummer.
Mamie
is that her-
Gummer.
I mean, she's
Mamie
awesome.
Gummer, and then there's Grace Gummer. They're both great.
Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah, I
Also okay, so maybe that's how they got their first job. But acting is one of those things that if you stink like a pile of poo, you're not going to keep getting roles. Like at a certain
And
point.
also, while we love movies and representation really, really matters, like it's not that important. Like they're not surgeons. They're not becoming surgeons because their dad was a surgeon and someone just gave them a scalpel, you know? Like it's still entertainment in movies. Like why are we so
I mean, I
upset?
can't believe you're saying that, but yes, I understand what you like.
I
You
don't
know
think
what I
we're
mean?
but
I
I
think
don't think
people aren't as like. Why aren't people talking about it in terms of politics? That
Becky's
like
not
changes
talking about
people's lives on a level.
Becky's not talking about it in terms of representation. We want to see different stories and different people.
No, she
and
means
faces
like
and
that
backgrounds on
film
screen.
is important.
No, what I
But
mean
it's
is that
not
film.
like-
No. Sorry. What I mean is that film is important. Media is
It
important.
influences
because-
people's lives. is
Because
what
it
she's saying.
influences people's lives, and the stories we tell are important because it influences our culture, right? And it
Right.
reflects our culture. So film is important, yes, in that sense. But in like the grand scheme of things and jobs that people have,
The person directing Willow is not responsible for the fusion reactor that was just built.
right?
Also,
Right?
if he does a
So, like-
shitty
So
job,
like honestly, who
I
cares
can't
if-
imagine Kathleen Kennedy. He might get his first shot. You're right. And that's not fair, maybe that they get their foot in the door. But like it was, who was it? Jamie Lee Curtis was like, fuck you, everyone. You know how
Yeah,
hard I
she
had to
was-
work? She was like, yeah, you can go fuck yourselves.
and some people have to work out
10
of
times
their-
harder.
Jacob Dylan's a perfect example. He's going to be in Bob Dylan. He's talented. He's wonderful, but he's going to be not Bob Dylan for the rest of his life.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to have his music career, but I don't think he has his music career simply because he's Bob Dylan.
Or what's his name? Lennon.
Oh yeah,
Lennon's son.
no one's buying any Julian Lennon albums. I'll tell you that.
I mean, like, yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword that this whole thing against, like, I just don't know what, like, is there nothing else to talk about that this has become a thing?
That's what I'm saying. Like there are
Yeah.
also nepo babies in a lot of other industries, and it just
which
seems
is
weird.
much more
People
terrible.
are so upset about this one. Like,
Right, of actors like that's
This
the
is-
one where like
Right. I think politicians and politics we should look at that sector more in terms of how pissed people have gotten. Jamie Lee Curtis's was the best. Yeah, she was just like, fuck you all. the best.
All
Whatever.
right. With that, you can follow me at Pancake at the number 4 table, Pancake 4 table on Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow Friday Night Movie at Friday Night Movie on all the socials, FridayNightMoviePod.com to join our newsletter. And
Us
oh,
girls at FNM Sisters on Instagram.
and the
Us
theme music
ladies of the
the
pod.
theme music is by What Does It Eat? Oh, and we have some exciting t-shirts, new Friday Night Movie t-shirts have arrived.
And stickers.
The 2023 t-shirts and stickers have arrived. So if you listened this far to the end of the episode and you send me a message,
You
I'll
will
hook you up
get
with I will hook you up
Yeah.
with one of the new
But
pieces of merch.
caveat, you must leave us a review.
Anyone who's
And
listening
only-
this far to the episode has left us a review.
Only 5 stars, and you'll get a t-shirt. We're buying reviews now, guys.
Are you allowed to do that? I don't think you can announce that.
Oh my God, who's gonna get us in trouble? Really? We're eliminated from the Signal Awards. We've bribed our reviewers.
Don't say that. That's not a joke.
Okay, fine. You
We'll
will
know
get
by
a
the time
t-shirt
this episode
separately.
drops how the signal
Yeah.
Awards
Right. Then we
turned out.
won't. Yeah, we won't have disqualified ourselves.
All right,
But
well, thank you.
also, the
Becky, no
t-shirts
one's
are
listening
really
this
nice.
far. Yeah, no one's listening this far into the
They
episode.
thought that when I said the theme music, it was over.
Right. They switched to their next episode. Got it. Okay.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Have a great week. Bye.
Disclaimer, it was just a
Bye.
joke. Disclaimer, it was just a joke. Bye, guys. Love you.
Allie's pulling a Fanya. Just when we started, Allie's like, "Ooh, what are you doing? Are you podcasting?" She just came in.
Can I come in and make some
Best
noise?
weekend ever. Lily, having the best weekend ever?
Yeah, we went to a place where you wouldn't be able to literally eat anything on the menu. They would not make any substitutions because Ruth has no restrictions, but she eats like only melted cheese, almost no animal protein that I've ever seen besides cheese, but it has to be melted.
So where did you
basically
go?
vegetarian, but everything has to be melted if there's going to be cheese on it.